Season 2 of the Pat and JT podcast.
Oh man, I'm here at last. The best time, always gonna be the best. Come on!
Exclusively on the Hurrdat Media Network.
All right.
I'm just going to slam right into this. I thought I had a pretty good relationship with my daughter, Sophia. Pretty close for a father and daughter. We're pretty close. We get along. We don't argue.
Right.
You know, it's kind of a give and take, whatever. Yeah. But you know... It kind of, our relationship was exposed in one comment yesterday by her. And I'll give you some backstory here in a second. We were, or here for a second, we had a friend in over the weekend, Angie, was in town from Des Moines. And not unexpected snow, but we weren't paying attention to really what was going to happen on Sunday.
It was unexpected. Trust me. I mean, trust me, I saw... I'm not going to call out anybody in particular, but the meteorologists in town were very defensive because at first it said 1 to 3 inches. And then it quickly got changed to 2 to 8.
Well, and to me, 2 to 8, it's like we're going to have an inch or 4 feet. It's like 2 to 8 is a big, huge. It's a big variance.
I have one of those posts on that's like we might get, it's like 0 to a
72 inches. Yeah,
right. That's that one.
Yeah.
And so I saw a couple of posts about people need to stop chirping in their ears, kind of thing. And that's not a quote. That's just to give you an idea of the tenor about the meteorologists, because and calling them out and getting pissed off at them and stuff. And I was like, I'm sorry, but I can't be that wrong at my job on the regular.
Right. You're right. and I understand that stuff changes, everything, whatever.
It does.
But
you ask us to absolutely believe in your forecast.
Yes. Or at least when you say we could get 2 to 8, I could guess that. It's any day in winter.
Every day.
Right. So I knew we were supposed to get the 1 to 3. Right.
Right.
So
it was 1 to 3. It really was.
Fell asleep, and apparently at some point during that time it got changed. I didn't even pay attention to it changing.
Yeah.
So get up the next morning, and Angie's getting ready to go back to Des Moines. And being nice, and she waited till it wasn't that morning. It was
maybe
like mid-afternoon after we shoveled and got all the.
It ended around noon.
Right. But then it was going east, so she would be in it. So she had to wait till it got well past us. So she didn't drive up its butt.
Catch up.
Yeah. Drive up the storm's butt, which is
Get
the name
out of my grill.
Which is the names of
Drive
today's
up its
pod.
butt.
Drive up the storm's butt. So anyway, we're helping her pack her vehicle. When I say we, Beth was getting ready. I said, hey, I'll help you. I'll Sherpa your stuff out to the car.
There
right.
You go.
So I'm carrying her bag. She's got a couple of other bags, and I go and I put the suitcase in the trunk, shut the trunk, and when I walked out right away, I had a t-shirt on, right, and just whatever sweatpants. I'm like, that'll be fine. As soon as I step outside where the house was shielding me from the wind, I'm like, this is freaking chilly. So after I put the suitcase in, I'm like, well, we'll say our goodbyes, but I'm gonna go get a vest, right? First mistake was I had my house slippers on. Right?
House slippers.
My slippers.
Oh, you sound like something else.
A paw.
Okay.
Get paws slippers. And I have 2 different kinds of slippers. I have slippers that have rubber tread, so I can walk and get the mail.
I have these.
That's what I have those, but I didn't have. And my house slippers they have those on it. So they're not like house moccasins.
Right.
They can go outside.
They can go outside. Mine can go outside.
So I went, and as I'm going back up the stairs, and my slipper catches I'm up all the stairs. We have like that kind of front of the house where you have like 5 or 6 stairs and they kind of curve around. Then you have a flat piece of sidewalk and then 3 or 4 stairs up into the door.
Okay.
Going around, I'm curving around that first up 1, 2, 3, clearing it. That 5th stair, and my front of my slipper it catches on the top. Here's what happened. Everything slowed down because I thought I caught myself, and in my head I thought I can make it. I can catch myself, and my belly is bigger than it used to be, so my center of gravity was way effed up. So I take 2 half-ass steps to try to catch myself, and then finally I just lean in.
Oh no!
I'm like, I'm going in, and the snow had been scooped from the sidewalk, so there was a wall of snow with landscaping underneath it. So in my head, I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to break both of my arms because my hands, I couldn't catch myself. And I'm thinking, and then I flashed back when we had talked about the last time as an adult you fell down. I'm thinking, I can't wait to talk about this story. And as I'm slowly, and I hit both. Today my shoulders are killing me. I hit both hands at the same time on the ground through 8 inches of snow, and they slide, and I go face down in the snow, belly mid area, my knees. But the thing is, I didn't hit my knees in the concrete because all my weight landed on my shoulders because I didn't want to skin my knees.
So God forbid.
Oh my God! Right? 'Cause I don't want to be a 48-year-old man with skin knees. It's the last thing I need. So I get up, and as I'm getting up, collecting myself, Beth is coming out the door. She thought I was getting down to throw a snowball at Angie's. She's like, "Oh, it's fun time outside." She didn't realize I almost died and that she was going to maybe have to wipe my ass for the next 6 weeks if I broke both my arms.
You don't know yet because that hasn't completely set in.
Right.
By tomorrow, you may not be able to.
Oh,
today,
I
stretching.
later on that evening when I'd kind of chilled.
Oh my God.
My shoulders started hurting last night. So took my Advil today. But I don't know if it's from the copious amounts of scooping yesterday with the heavy snow. Or if it was the fall. But so I tell Sophia, Sophia had driver school yesterday, right? So I'm going to pick her up afterwards. And I'm like, oh, you're never going to believe, blah, blah, blah. I told her the whole story. Are you okay? How you feeling, Dad? Love you. You're a hero. She said, oh my God, did the Ring doorbell catch the fall? I'm like, what?
She is your daughter.
She's totally my daughter. So she gets on the phone and calls Beth, and Beth looks, but no, it didn't. It got our movement going out the door, but it stopped recording by the time that would have been fantastic.
That would have been awesome.
Oh, I would look like I got shot by a sniper.
Yeah. I love that that's her first thought.
The very first thing that came out of her mouth.
And it is the one thing that we've complained about in general, but we're just as guilty of it, of people when they see something happening that the first thing they do is they get their phones out instead of go help somebody.
Yeah. But I didn't even think about the Ring doorbell. I would have thought, if I had thought about that before, I would have automatically gone to look and see.
Yeah.
But the fact that that's the first thing she thought of.
I think you were in shock.
Oh, I was in shock. I was thanking Jesus. I was everything, because it could have gone south really fast.
Oh my God.
Bad. It would have been awful. Yeah.
That's just hilarious. That whole catching your toe thing. Terrible. I do that with those damn the UGG boots, whatever. It doesn't matter. Because they're not.
The sole is thicker.
Sole, it doesn't bend like it's supposed to because it's just flat on the bottom. It's not. There's nothing in it that supports your foot, right? And they're just long enough too because it sticks out a little bit further from your toe. And I've caught it on the steps.
And normally you catch it and then you can catch yourself. It's like you hope nobody sees you. Yeah, embarrassing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh my God.
So anyway, thoughts and prayers to my shoulders.
Well, glad you're here. So,
it was.
I want to see what tomorrow brings.
Oh man, it might be rough.
All right, turn my headphones up just a touch.
Okay.
Just a little. Oh my gosh, there we go.
Much better.
I found out some really good news this weekend.
Yeah.
I'm into Outlander. Mm-hmm. And season 6 is coming there in production.
Okay.
I misspoke last time.
Okay.
I joined that group. They told Outlandish, Omaha, and just found the news this weekend that apparently season 6 is in production. Season 7 has been approved.
Oh man, so you've got 2 more seasons in you for sure you haven't seen.
And a spinoff.
Whoa.
Yes. So I'm very excited about that.
Nice.
I did want to thank Steve for posting a picture of the Clown Motel at the Pat and JT page.
Why did he just out of the blue? It's like he saw this and thought you'd enjoy it?
Because he knows.
Yeah.
He knows. And the Clown Motel, we've talked about this place before, and I haven't seen it in a long time because you know what? I don't look for it. Right. So
because you thought that assuming that hell would have just eaten its own and we wouldn't be around anymore.
That the earth would have opened up and just swallowed it right now. But the Clown Motel is still out there in Nevada. $90 a night to stay in that hellhole. It's not happening. But in the comments then, Mary had posted, well, heck, you don't have to go so far. You can just drive on up to Plainview, Nebraska. And by God, they have a clown doll museum. Not just clowns, clown dolls.
Oh, so it's not clowns and dolls, it's clown dolls.
Clown dolls.
Why do these people hate themselves so much? If they would open and who would go?
Well, get this. Okay, so I looked it up because I'm just curious. It has a little website, and it does well. It's been named like outstanding tourist attraction in Nebraska several times.
Then our state needs to step up its game. If that's on a list, I'm embarrassed.
It's on the list.
Good Lord.
And it's spelled with a K, clown, with a K.
Okay.
Because apparently over 50 years ago, there was the community clown band that was spelled with a K. So they decided in tribute, they started, also Plainview is with a K, clown, 1K capital of Nebraska.
Okay, so they're 1K away from being a disaster.
Exactly.
Don't ever have that
I mean, come
many
on.
Ks in where your acronym could be anything.
Just one
like that.
is enough.
Right.
One's too many. It was even featured. I looked up all this crap because I'm just like, what in the hell is going on up there? And apparently it was featured in a 5-page story in the Living Here publication in Yankton, South Dakota, as well as Dollcastle News magazine
Dollcastle News?
out of New Jersey.
What? What is
What is going on?
going on?
They've gotten grants from the state and from the county.
So your taxpayers have gone. Your tax
tax
money
dollars have
has
gone to
paid
this
for the crazy clown doll museum.
Plainview Clown Doll Museum. So yeah, you get a little deeper into some of this stuff, and God bless them. They've been doing it over 50 years.
I don't know about God bless them because that's really weird.
Maybe that's not who did.
Maybe they need blessing because dolls are just creepy anyway. Just in general, dolls are creepy.
Yeah.
Dolls in general. I mean, clown dolls obviously double creepy, but just big dolls, even those American Girl ones, are just creepy.
Especially when you see a room when somebody has a collection.
Yes.
And there's a bunch of them. They're all just staring at you.
Right.
And so that's how they've assembled their displays. These are collections that were donated. People who actually collected a lot of clown dolls, and so they're even the Maddie Vanderpool collection, who was a resident of Yankton.
Okay.
And also a professional clown.
Okay.
I think that's probably where a lot of these
I would say probably most of them are.
they have to be. But she apparently had over 1,500 clown dolls that she donated. You have the Jerry Sowens collection, another collector that she had several clown dolls, and apparently had a room in her house that was designed as a circus tent. And
Lord.
the
Oh my God.
and I don't want to disparage you because all these people donated them after their death for the most part. I'm looking at, but I haven't gone through all of them, so I'm not trying to make fun of anybody.
Can you
I'm just
imagine
saying-
her being a single woman and bringing a gentleman caller back, and she goes, "And this is my bedroom, this is my den, and this is my circus tent room with all my babies."
I was just going to say it doesn't say she was single. I thought Jill don't even
say. That's if you look on the back page, it's a little asterisk is obviously stated. Either she was single or her husband hated life. Just stayed in the basement. Where's Frank? He's in the basement.
Right. And another one, she was a widow, and you have to wonder about that too. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to name names, but also had a museum in Oregon, and they kept all the clown dolls. And there's quite a lot of information that's in there. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 collections that have been donated, anywhere from $20 to $1,500.
Well, I'm sure the one with 1,500, like they could have sold that for quite a bit. I would assume. I'm assuming most of them are old.
It's some of these might be really valuable though too. You think
Gives
about
a crap. Who cares how valuable? Who cares?
I wouldn't.
Not a chance.
I couldn't.
There's not enough money in the world. Not enough money in the world. There was I don't even know where I heard it this weekend. I don't know what it was, but it was somebody that had stayed in. There's a specific hotel somewhere in this country where multiple numbers of mass murderers have stayed.
Oh, that.
What was that?
Have you ever? Cecil. The Cecil Hotel is the one that there's the TV show that's on right now, which talks about some of the murders or deaths that happened in that hotel. I think it's on Netflix.
Maybe that's where I was thinking about.
And I think also that was the basis for Murder Hotel.
Kind of an obvious
Horror. What's the TV show?
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about with Adam Levine.
American Horror Story.
Yeah.
They had the murder. I can't remember. Was it called Murder Hotel or
I don't
whatever
know.
it's called?
Yeah.
It was kind of based on that. And there are other documentaries you can watch or things about that hotel. But you remember the video not too long ago that came out of the girl who was jumping into an elevator, and then she looked back out and she tucked back in like somebody was coming for her. And she was standing outside it and looked like she was talking to somebody, but her hand movements were really odd.
Wait, hold on a second. No, I haven't seen this.
You haven't seen
No,
that?
you need to put it on our Facebook page. I need to see this.
Yeah, that is in that hotel.
Okay.
And then
Like, why would people ever stay there? What? Because people can go and visit. Why? I don't get it. I just don't understand why you're tempting.
tempting fate.
Why would you do that?
I do not get it. But that is fascinating to me because it's like there's a curse on the place.
Yes.
But all these things have happened over time, and I think that's probably why people still stay there, or did until this movie came out. I don't think
Not
the
a
place is probably
chance.
happening anymore. I don't even know if it's still there, because it happened over an expansive time that they didn't put 2 and 2 together.
But again, we've learned from having all these mediums and psychics and stuff on that time is just not is time. Like it's not linear. So just because it happened 200 years ago, the soul, the spirits, whatever, it could be yesterday. So it doesn't matter if it happened 100 years ago.
Okay, you're going to love this podcast I'm listening to right now. It's from a couple years ago, but the guy that's on it, his name is Nick Hinton. Hinton, Hinton, if you get a chance. He's only been on a couple, 3 podcasts, and he's I've caught all of his episodes except this one and the other 2. That's how I found him, was on Tinfoil Hat. And he's a randonaut.
Okay.
He's that guy.
All these words you say just make you sound like a lunatic. I'm just saying. And you just say, like, he's the randonaut from Tinfoil Hat.
I'm trying to give you some kind of a marker.
WTF. I have plenty of markers. I don't need more markers.
But he is getting ready to start a podcast, as a matter of fact.
Okay.
But he's the one that was on a podcast a couple, 3 years ago. And his claim is, and it is just mind-boggling to listen to him. He claims that the world, that time ended in 2012.
And we're just
the Mayan calendar.
Okay.
So that was in 12/21/12.
So what are we in now?
Simulation.
Okay.
Look that crap up.
Well,
I'm going to tell you what, talk about a mind twist. And that's not the word I said when I first heard it.
I'm sure.
I was just, what? Okay. And I've heard about people talk about that kind of thing before, that it's just a simulation. That's where you get the people talking about the Mandela effect,
right? Where
you have you misremember stuff.
Yeah.
And, the Berenstain Bears, Looney Tunes, all that, we've talked, you misremember things that they claim those are glitches in the Matrix. And that's where the Matrix came from, because people thought the same. That's where that whole movie came from.
I know, but I can't get myself to go there. I can't.
When you watch The Matrix, it's the same thing. And then the movie with Leo.
Yeah. I was going to say delusional, but that's this conversation. Divergent? No.
It's another where it's a time.
Yeah.
That's the same kind of thought. That's the same kind of thinking about the whole timeline. And like you said, and we've talked to several of our friends who come in and that are healers or mediums, that the whole time thing is one of those things that just kind of messes with you.
Inception.
That's the movie.
That movie was so stupid. I can't get myself to. Those movies don't interest me. I thought The Matrix was ridiculously dumb.
That's why I like Outlander, is because it messes with the time continuum.
But I don't like that,
because they go back in time and then they can come back and go back to the future.
As far as I can go, I can do This Is Us. I can do This Is Us all day.
And Back to the Future, you liked it?
Oh, because it was a DeLorean. You put garbage in a DeLorean's trunk. It wasn't anything like science-y.
Okay, that's fine.
That's totally fine. I can totally get myself up to 88 miles an hour. It is stupid. Inception's dumb, but you put enough banana peels in the back of a DeLorean, get to 88 miles an hour, I'm good.
See the 50s? Boom.
I'm done.
Back to the Future. It's all the same. Those are the same mindsets.
But the Back to the Future is like kindergarten level stuff. You're talking about stuff that's like college level.
Yeah, it goes from Back to the Future to
Inception and whatever your guys saying.
A simulation.
Yeah.
This is all simulation.
I'm down here. I'm down here. I know my role. I'm just
You're not
down here.
anymore. Once you know, you know.
I don't want to know.
Sorry, too late.
I don't want to know.
And you're going to know more.
No.
Yes, I will tell you more. That's all I got.
All right, you guys. Thanks for listening to our podcast. Tweet to us, it's Pat and JT, or text us 402-403-9478.
Pat and JT Podcast, a Hurrdat Media Production.